Robyn's house sold, and now my house is under contract, so my house will be done and sold. It gives us a little bit more foundation with your house and my house. At least we have some reserve.
So the money is sitting in the bank. It is not being touched. I'm reassuring all of you, it's sitting there, it's not being touched, and it's family money in my head. And it's like, I'm just reassuring anybody who was wondering what's going on with the money from my house sale, and I'm just reassuring them this is happening.
What if I told you that everything you thought about sister wives was a lie? That while the rest of the Brown family scrambled to survive, one woman, Robyn, was quietly setting up her perfect checkmate? Because that's exactly what happened. This isn't just a story about financial struggles or bad real estate decisions. This is a carefully orchestrated heist, one that left Robyn in a luxury home while the other wives were left picking up the pieces. And the best part? She made it look like an accident. But was it? Let's break it down phase by phase, because once you see the pattern, you'll never look at sister wives the same way again. It was supposed to be a fresh start. When the Brown family packed up their lives in Las Vegas and moved to Flagstaff in season 14, the plan was simple: sell their 4 Vegas homes, use the profits to build new houses on Coyote Pass, and finally live in the dream family compound they'd been talking about for years. But dreams have a funny way of turning into nightmares. Because instead of smooth sailing, the Browns walked straight into a financial disaster. The problem? The Vegas homes didn't sell right away. And that meant they were paying 2 mortgages at once, the ones they still owed on their Vegas properties and the rent and land costs in Flagstaff. Thousands and thousands of dollars bleeding out every single month. It was a ticking time bomb. While Janelle and Christine panicked over finances and Meri struggled to keep up, one wife stayed quiet, watching, waiting. Robyn. And who unknowingly set the perfect stage for her master plan? Christine. Sounds harmless, right? Just wait, because this is where things start to get real sneaky. Christine was the first domino to fall. With the Vegas home still sitting unsold, Christine made a bold move. She bought a house in Flagstaff. On the surface, it looked like a simple decision. She needed stability, a place for her kids, a fresh start. But behind the scenes, this one move gave Kody and Robyn the perfect opportunity to rewrite the rules.
Okay, you guys, everybody, Christine got her keys this morning.
The financing for Christine's house finally went through, and so now we're buying this house. Christine and I looked for a house to rent.
We could not find a house that worked for us to rent, but we did find one that worked for us to buy.
Kody hated the fact that Christine bought a home before selling her Vegas house. He made it sound like she had stolen from the family fund, taking money that wasn't hers. But let's be honest, Christine knew what was coming. Her marriage to Kody was already on life support, and she could see the writing on the wall. Owning a home meant freedom, an escape route, a future without Kody. And then came the big manipulation. Kody and Robyn made sure everyone knew that Christine had used family money for her down payment. So later, when her Vegas home finally sold, she was expected to pay it back. Translation? Christine became the villain. She was blamed for delaying the family's financial plans. She was painted as selfish for securing her own future before the rest of the Browns. And here's where things get really convenient. Because guess who completely ignored this new rule when it was her turn to buy a house? Robyn. While Christine was guilted into repaying the family, Robyn managed to sweep the entire concept under the rug. Coincidence? Or was this all part of a much bigger plan? And then, like clockwork, Robyn played her next move. While the other wives struggled with money, she and Kody were renting a home in Flagstaff. No urgency, no rush to buy, just sitting back and watching as the rest of the family tried to dig themselves out of financial quicksand. Then, out of nowhere, disaster. Robyn's landlord decided to sell the house. Suddenly, she was in a crisis. She had no choice. She insisted she wanted to rent again, but oh no, there were no rentals available. Because, Flagstaff is apparently the most competitive real estate market in the country when it's convenient for Robyn. Kody, of course, pretended to struggle with the decision. He whined about not wanting to buy a house, about how they needed to be smart with money, about how this wasn't the plan. But then, surprise, he came to the only possible conclusion. They had to buy. They had no other option. And just like that, Robyn walked away with a mansion. A luxury home, bigger than what any of the other wives had, paid for using family equity. The same equity Christine was forced to pay back.
I've been making every payment on this house. Every one. So no, I won't be giving him any of the money from the sale of my house.
Here's the thing with Christine in that house. Robyn and I gave her her down payment for that house.
So let's recap. Christine buys a home. She's reckless, irresponsible, and must pay back the family fund. Robyn buys a home. She's a victim of circumstance and gets to keep every penny. Coincidence? Or the perfect con? Because the timing wasn't just lucky, it was flawless. And just when you think Robyn couldn't get any luckier, something happened that sealed the deal. Just when it seemed like Robyn had already won the game, fate handed her the ultimate advantage, one that would secure Kody's loyalty like never before. Enter COVID-19. When the pandemic hit, the Brown family had a critical decision to make. Where would Kody stay? Would he rotate between wives, as he always had? Would they find a way to keep the family connected despite the challenges? Nope. Kody chose one house to stay in. And, shockingly, it was Robyn's. While Janelle and Meri were left to fend for themselves, Robyn and Kody locked themselves away in their luxury home, living out their own private marriage, while the rest of the family slowly crumbled. And here's where it gets even more twisted. Robyn and Kody weaponized the pandemic to justify keeping the family separated. Kody suddenly had strict rules, ones that just so happened to make it nearly impossible for him to see the other wives. He blamed Janelle and Christine for not following protocol, while he happily cozied up with Robyn. He stopped seeing Meri altogether, cutting off any remaining thread of their broken marriage. It was like a slow, controlled elimination. By the time the dust settled, Christine had officially left the family, Janelle was hanging on by a thread, and Meri had become nothing more than a ghost. And Robyn? She was the last wife standing. But here's the kicker. Even now, years later, the financial damage from the Vegas homes is still haunting the other wives. Janelle and Meri are still fighting for what they were owed. Christine had to walk away entirely just to regain her peace. And Robyn? She's sitting pretty in her mansion with Kody by her side, playing the victim. Was this all just luck? Or was Robyn playing a long game that no one else even saw coming? This wasn't just bad luck or circumstance. Robyn played the long game, and she won. Let's break it down step by step. Christine took the fall. Robyn and Kody made sure Christine looked like the villain for using Vegas home equity. So when it was Robyn's turn, no one could question her.
All the money for this? We need to be building. Why are we doing that? Like, I don't get this. And I need more time to hope that we will find a rental. I need more time to look.
We're down to the wire. And I'm to the point now where I'm feeling like there's a different message we're getting. We're being sent. We have to hear the other message. And that message is, you have to buy a place because renting isn't going to happen.
She positioned herself as the victim. She didn't want to buy a house, remember? She had no choice. Her landlord forced her. There were no rentals. She eliminated the competition. The pandemic became the perfect excuse to isolate Kody from the other wives, while she remained the only one by his side. She ended up with everything: a mansion, Kody's undivided attention, and the power to rewrite history as if she never played a role in the family's destruction. And now, she sits there with fake tears, talking about how she never wanted this, how she's not the favorite wife, how she just wants the family to be together. But the numbers don't lie. Neither does the empty cul-de-sac in Vegas or the broken relationships left in her wake. While Christine, Janelle, and Meri lost everything, Robyn walked away with the dream life she always wanted. And the best part? She convinced Kody that it was all his idea. So what do you think? Was Robyn just another wife caught in the chaos? Or was she pulling the strings the entire time? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more deep dives like this, hit that subscribe button, because this saga is far from over.